Welcome to Office Hours. Today is Wednesday, January 6th, and we're here to talk about SEO. And we got a couple questions already queued up that we're going to jump into right away. One of them is a continuance of many of our own struggles over page speed. And another one has to do with Google Analytics. And yeah, so let's just get started. Steffi, you had the first question. You said that you had a client that you're redesigning their site, but the site won't list a result in page speed insights.
It's, yeah, just like goes and goes and goes and then stops. And then it just says there's no result. And I'm like, this is a client I lost. They went to another developer and I just wanted to check to see their page speed. And
Yeah.
it's like not showing. And that is very concerning, obviously. And their page title says home. So I know there's a bunch of issues. I'm like,
oh, that's my favorite title tag. That's
I
great.
know.
It's almost as good as just the same title tag on every page. So
what the hell?
the first thing to do to troubleshoot this is to make sure, and maybe you can troubleshoot this without sharing your screen since we don't necessarily want to show the client.
Okay.
Check their robots.txt file and make sure their website is not excluded. And there might be a better way. Oh, what is
robots.tech? Let me put that in because I don't have access to the site anymore, but
well, you should
I
be
do
able to
see it. I see it and I can show you what or tell you what it says.
well,
but
hold on. I'm going to do something different. A buddy of mine came up with this really cool tool.
that is so weird. It says disallow / asterisk ?
Okay.
It's allowing the CSS and the JS, but it's
So
disallowing the calendar, the events, and the root file with a wildcard after it, right? Isn't that
yeah.
what-
So go to this website, ismysiteblocked.com. This is a tool a buddy of mine built. And basically what it does is you put in a web page and it tells you if you're allowing the bots, including Google, to view it. So you have, I have your URL that you sent to me.
It says check. There are no rules allowing or disallowing asterisk from visiting this site.
Okay, so it could be that the robots disallow is, so it's at the disavow tool says, I'm sorry, the robots file says /*?
Let me put it in the chat.
Okay.
Disallow / asterisk ?
Okay. Okay. So what that's going to do is disallow anything from that has a parameter in it.
Oh, parameter, right, with the question mark.
Right, with a question mark. It's kind of silly. And they're doing allow, which is also silly because Google doesn't consider allow as a valid direction in robots.txt.
Okay.
So if they're trying to prevent or allow Google to do the CSS, that's just kind of, they're going to do that because of this. Yeah, so, okay, so what this robots.txt is not preventing Google in any way from getting to the homepage, at least, from what I'm seeing, because what this is trying to say is it's asking Google to disallow the bot from crawling any parameters. Okay, but so that was the first thing I wanted to check, because if you don't allow the Google bot or any Google bot to check your website, it won't work with page speed tools.
Right.
So the other thing could be it's Google is timing out. In other words, it takes the website too long for even page speed results to visit. It could be so slow that Google gives up on rendering it.
There was something I was looking at a while back that did that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I had to tried several different tools to finally get, and it was slow. It was something I was looking at. I can't remember. And it did that. I think, I don't remember where I went to finally check it. And then I just had to keep trying. I don't know.
I
I
would,
keep trying.
yeah, I
but-
would confirm this. You're aware of Google's mobile page speed test, mobile test?
Mhm.
That Google recommends we use when we want to make sure Google can even read our website in the first place.
Mhm.
Especially as more developers use more JavaScript and JavaScript frameworks to build sites, they say use this tool to see if Google can even read it.
Oh, right. I can try that.
So try that, and if Google, see what Google says, and if that times out, that suggests that the page speed is also timing out, which suggests that their page is so slow that it's
They have a
problem.
lot of video going on, like 4 or 5 sliders with animation going on in the
Oh,
Oh,
background.
Lord, yeah,
Oh, that could
yeah,
definitely.
yeah, that's,
It's a really cool looking site. I like what they did. But my concern and what I'm seeing with developers these days, because I've been in this now for 22 years, okay, y'all. I've been in this since I was 25 years old. And I try to always get ahead of the curve, and I'm notifying my clients, hey, you've really got to start thinking about a redesign of the site, because I've
Yeah.
not found us to be able to meet those speed levels without a whole new theme. And I'm finding people getting their sites redesigned by these developers that are not paying
Right.
attention to
Yeah.
SEO or responsive or core web vitals, web core vitals. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
yeah. And it's tough, and I know you're working hard on getting your clients to set up with fast speeds. I know that other web developers I work with, especially like Shopify, they are really having a hard time.
Really.
Mhm.
Shopify, and part of
It's
that has to
not
do with the
easy
fact that all
without
Shopify
redesign.
sites are hosted at Shopify, so you
Yeah,
can't affect
you
hosting.
can't change host. Yeah. Because that's like one of the first things I look at is, okay, where are they hosted? And if
Mhm.
it's a garbage host, then I'm like, let's first change your host and see how much that helps,
Right.
and then go from there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
and e-commerce anyway always has troubles because e-commerce sites always love having huge, big images, and
Mhm.
that's always working against them anyway.
Okay, well,
But
it
it
does
sounds
say
to me like their site's so slow that even PageSpeed Insights won't do it.
Yeah, because if you've got all those videos and sliders,
yeah.
I would say that. I mean, like if it's pretty,
Okay.
it's one thing, but if nobody's gonna sit around and view it, then it's kind of not.
It says it's mobile friendly, but
Okay.
it's got a black screen with their logo on the screenshot, and it says page partially loaded.
Right,
Huh. Uh-huh.
Page resources couldn't be loaded.
right.
I mean, gosh.
Yeah. So what you see through mobile insights is what Google's screenshot of the page is.
So is this going to really hurt their ranking? Like,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
significantly.
Absolutely.
I don't know that they care though. That's the
Okay.
thing. So, they're a
Okay.
client that's already very well known in town. Who knows? Yeah.
So, and I'm just a question though. So you said it was a former client and they had somebody else develop it?
Yeah, they're
They're-
a pretty big client of mine. Yeah.
If because if they're well known and they're kind of at the top, but if they are not doing things to keep up with Google, I'm wondering if they could have a competitor come in and take over. I don't know what kind of business, so therefore I don't know how.
They're not very competitive. Like, it's
Okay.
like, yeah, I don't think that's an issue for them. So it's like, and on the fence. I know them very well. I still communicate with them. I had to fix some things while they're waiting for the site to get redesigned. But it's like, I don't know if I should say something or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I empathize with you, because on
Yeah.
one sense you want to help someone, the other sense you don't want to look like sour grapes,
Yeah.
right? But I mean, you're bringing it to their attention and say, if I was you, I would talk to my developer about this
Yeah.
and make their developer defend them.
And yeah, and you can even just say, that these are these issues are things that that have to be addressed because of Google, and that they're going to be going, because it's sometime this year, even though they've been there, Google's emphasizing them more. Is that the right term, David?
Yeah. In May, these are ranking factors. So
And if it doesn't do well for mobile ranking, then they're no longer going to show at all.
Right, because Google is switching to mobile
Mobile
only
only.
index.
Right. So
So
that's
what-
actually, yeah, that is a concern. They need
Yeah.
to show. So okay, I might just mention that. And I did mention it to him before. I said, just so you know, talk to them about what theme, they're going to be installing, and this is what's happening in the future before, but now I can show them evidence of that. Like, this is not good.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're right. A lot of companies kind of say, we don't care about Google. We just want a good looking website, and they'll sacrifice
Mhm.
aesthetics for productivity. And in some business models, they can succeed that way. But I would say you have to be a Fortune 100 company to really succeed.
Yeah.
That. Like Coca-Cola
Mhm.
doesn't really need to care about SEO.
But not being listed at all, that's
Yeah,
really bad. That's not
that is.
good.
When they
Yeah.
don't show up for their brand name,
Hmm.
Yeah.
that will be a real problem. Now, they might still show up for their brand name just because they're a domain name.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But that's, to me, that's the oh no moment when you don't even show up for your own brand name. I don't know if that's going to happen here. Now, what they might experience is, let's say, a social media profile might not rank their homepage
Hmm.
for their brand name, right?
Okay.
And then they might come to you at that point because what's going on, Steffi? And you can say, well, remember in January when we talked about
Hmm.
some of these things I just noticed.
And just so y'all know, I did have a good success story of testing a site that we're working on a redesign of, with actually David. He's also a client of his, that we took the site as it is and moved it to staging and changed out the theme to Astra, which ranks really well for page speed insights, by the way. And it's highly recommended if you look online. Like, it's very Gutenberg friendly and very fast. I was amazed. Okay. Just the same content that was on there, even in UberGrid, which takes up some loading time as well. It came up with literally 99 desktop score and 93 mobile score.
That's excellent.
I could not believe it, like mostly greens. I just was floored. And we tried getting his page speed down, doing a lot of other things, installing WP Rocket plugin and other things I was trying one by one. I just couldn't do it. I just could not get it down. I tried for 8 hours, David. I never billed him for those 8 hours. It was just like a learning experience. But I just realized, like, if we're going to redesign the site, we're just going to redo it and see what we get there. And bam, I'm like amazed.
Wow.
I'm finding that a lot of sites have to do complete rebuilds to see some of these Web
Yeah.
Core Vital metrics.
Yeah.
Can I ask what theme it was on before it moved? Or
Can't remember if it was like, it was probably a story theme, which I've used for tons of clients.
You mean look it up?
I'm just curious, just to
Yeah, I can look. I think it's story theme.
Yeah.
Landscaping. Yeah.
Here, I'm already in.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I was really impressed when you showed me what you were able to accomplish just by changing the theme.
Yeah.
And it really has to do, some of these Web Core Vitals really have to redo the way you think about things.
Yeah, it's story theme.
Story. Yeah, story is the theme. Yeah.
And I
So-
thought that was a lightweight theme, but not it's not Gutenberg friendly at all. And they don't plan to. So I had to change. And Astra is honestly, it's not that expensive. You can buy unlimited licenses for 200, I think, for the year, or lifetime. I can't remember. So it really wasn't that expensive and pretty good support. They answer their calls. Highly recommended.
Good,
Highly.
good.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's
I've
great
heard good
news.
things about Astra. That's one of the things I don't know a lot about, are the themes in which, I know ones I've heard of, but I just never know as far as things like that. What are they? Which ones are good for speed and stuff?
We tried another named Zombra, which was those two were recommended. It did not do as well as Astra.
Okay.
Way better. And then on top of that, my developer, as she's developing, was checking page speed as she goes to make
Yeah.
sure if she adds something, it causes.
Mhm.
Well, we had wanted a slideshow in there. Well, she realized when she added like a slideshow option, it dramatically increased the speed. So she hand tweaked the code of the Gutenberg gallery
Mhm.
options, a block, and hand tweaked it to create a slideshow from that. And it did not increase the page speed. She did something
Wow.
custom. I was like, oh my God, girl,
That's great.
that impressed me.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
So that could make a big difference too.
Yeah. So you said you had another question you wanted to ask too, Steffi. What was that?
Yeah, so I checked my Google Analytics going
Oh, yeah.
according to your lesson 3, and my hits have gone down to 0, and I don't know why.
Okay, okay. So within lesson 3, there's so directions on how to troubleshoot and confirm Google Analytics is
Mhm.
installed properly. Were you able to do that?
I did install the troubleshooting dashboard, and I was looking at that. I'm just not seeing anything. I haven't listened to your whole lesson plan yet, though, so maybe. But
Okay.
I'm like just floored at why this is happening.
Yeah, no, that's so. Let me see where the directions are here. Oh, this is the set. Okay. So lesson 3 is not setting up Google Analytics. Lesson 1 is setting up Google Analytics.
No, it's the
Oh, the dashboard is coming in 0.
dashboard. Sorry, yeah.
Ah, okay, okay. So this dashboard. Okay. So, did you change when you set up the dashboard? Did you change the account to which it's drawing data?
I made it the live site.
Because
I assigned it to the live site.
okay, we had problems with this before. So when you clicked on the link in the thing to import the dashboard,
Mm-hmm.
it sent you to a Google Analytics
Page,
page, and you could select a view.
and I selected the
Okay,
live
okay.
website.
Okay. Are all metrics 0?
Yeah, all of them have gone down to 0.
Okay.
Sessions,
Okay.
all new. Main goal completion 0. Page views like 0.
Okay. So did you change your Google Analytics install at all? The way you're rendering Google Analytics on your site?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Um,
Okay.
okay. I'll have to
So
do
here's
that.
what I would do. Do you mind we all do an experiment with you? Can you
Yeah.
go to your Google Analytics account and go to the real-time report?
Yeah. Okay. Should I share my screen?
Do you mind? I'm going to allow you to, if you don't
No,
mind.
I don't
sharing.
mind.
I now I'm allowing you to share your screen.
Screen.
Okay.
Here's my
Okay.
dashboard.
Well, that's your dashboard. That does have some data in it.
Yeah, but then you see here, well, here and
Oh, that's
here.
where it drops to 0. Okay. Okay. So go to real time in the left. On the left side of your screen.
Real
It's
time.
real time. Just go to overview. And let us all for a moment
Go to my website.
go to her website.
Okay.
Now, some of you have Ghostery installed,
Uh-huh.
so don't use Ghostery. And you should see on her screen what the website is.
I'll put it in the chat for you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
here.
That's weird. I've been having a lot of that lately. You don't have to refresh real time.
Okay.
It'll automatically refresh. And what we're testing here is if it's picking up any of us visiting the site.
I don't think so, because I'm on her page.
I'm on
for
it
about
too.
2 minutes now.
I am too.
I'm
Okay.
on it in 2 different browsers.
I
Right.
did something wrong.
Yeah,
Okay, well-
so one of the ways we want to check the installation of Google Analytics is by going to the real-time report and clicking on a couple pages of your site and watching yourself in this report to confirm it's installed correctly. So what this is telling us is it's not installed correctly.
Okay.
So you must have lost your code somewhere.
Well, I deleted those 2 tracking codes
But-
within
and-
the header, but then I had installed
SiteKit.
SiteKit.
All right, let's
So-
look at your install as SiteKit real quick. Okay. Go to settings under SiteKit at the very top. It looks like you have Google. All right, go to connect more services. You set up
Oh.
analytics.
Oh gosh. Now, was this covered in your lesson before? Because I felt like it said install SiteKit, but it didn't say exactly how to do it. That's-
Okay, then I need to be more clear.
Okay, yeah, I think that's part was lost. That was
Okay.
good.
All right,
Okay.
Yeah. so. Yeah. Yep. All right, so this will just take a second. And okay, so check to make sure this is the property and view that you want,
Mm-hmm.
and then configure analytics.
Great. Okay. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
No, there we go.
I feel
So
so stupid for this,
No.
but
if my directions are unclear, then my directions are unclear.
Yeah,
So
they
here's what
kinda
I would
dropped
also
off.
do while I'm
Huh?
here. Go back to the very top of your screen, and under settings, under SiteKit, we're going to connect another service.
the page speed insights one.
Well, we can, but really what I want you to do is Tag Manager.
Oh yeah.
And so you
Yeah,
can use
Tag Manager.
SiteKit to set up Tag Manager, which then sets up Google Analytics through that.
Okay.
Question, David. So, SiteKit, remind me, so this is a Google
Yeah.
plugin that then allows me to see all of that in my dashboard. Is that right?
So it does a lot more than that.
Okay.
And I would go ahead and connect PageSpeed Insights too while you're there, Steffi.
Yeah.
But why don't you turn off screen share?
Okay, thank you.
No, that's fine. So why I like SiteKit is because it's a very easy way to add Google Analytics to your site.
Okay.
It's very, very lightweight.
Okay.
It doesn't involve changing themes and hard coding stuff in. You can also use Tag Manager without, again, changing your theme. Because any of us who have tried to add, a few years ago, when we actually had to crack into themes to add Google Analytics to our site,
Mm-hmm.
or we had to rely on a plugin to add Google Analytics to our site, we always ran into problems.
Yeah. Okay.
This allows in a very lightweight way to add all these codes to your site, and Tag Manager, which if we've talked about Tag Manager before as a bucket, where we can then add or subtract tracking codes like Facebook pixels, LinkedIn pixels. We can even add effects to our website using jQuery and stuff like that without ever having to crack in our code,
Okay.
right? So let's say we wanted to do some like I use Active Campaign as a tracking and email system. I don't want to have to add Active Campaign to my code.
Yeah,
But just number one, I'm not a real developer and I could break something. Number two, what if I want to change? Now I got to crack it again. What worst case scenario, I do it wrong. Next time I update my theme, and we all know with WordPress, you got to keep your themes updated.
mhm,
So now it overrides that and I lose my data for a couple weeks till I figure out what I did
Yeah.
wrong.
yeah,
And then, so this is a lightweight way to do it. If any of you are at WordCamp Asheville virtually this year,
mhm,
one of the people from Google who works in the PageSpeed Insights tool, he, I should say, heavily implied that Google is very, very interested in the Sitekit tool as it relates to PageSpeed. And there will be things rolling out in it faster than to the rest of the world.
okay,
So I don't know what that is, but I got very
Yeah.
excited about it and
Yeah.
because I was already using Sitekit.
okay.
Great.
And it
So-
doesn't add to the page load or anything like that. This page speed
If
Okay.
anything, it's a little faster.
makes
So
it faster.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I understand. So like my website is being designed now since my rebrand. I haven't done it.
Yeah.
And so I was gonna, I have not used Tag Manager yet, and I figure I was just gonna wait until I just go ahead and do the site. So you had her do connect Google Analytics.
Yes.
So like, and then Tag Manager.
Yes.
And then, so is everything, I just go into Sitekit, connect everything, and then that makes it all work? I don't have to put
Yes.
any codes in anything?
As long as you already have a Google Analytics account set up and a Google Tag Manager account set up.
Okay,
You don't have those set up yet.
I do, but yeah.
Then
But
you're-
Well,
then
no,
you
Tag
have to
Manager,
set 'em up.
I need to set up. Yes, I
But-
need to set it up.
Now, and I think that what I'm learning from this experience too is even though Tag Manager is a lot better way to serve up, and even Sitekit's a lot better way to serve up, it might be better just to leave the old way on your site until you need to change it.
Mhm.
That way we avoid a problem of a couple weeks without data,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
that's why with my whole site is kind of from scratch. What I had now is just a landing page.
Yeah, I would be a little, maybe what I'm learning from this experience is to say, I need to add something to say, if analytics is on your site, don't touch it. Just let it go unless it's clearly broken.
Okay.
Now,
But then I thought it would be doubling up the stats though. So that's why I went in and removed.
well, but if I would have not added, in your case, I should have recommended you leave your old tags on and not add Sitekit. And just let your old tags continue to pull data. They are still working.
Oh,
Sitekit's great if you don't have it on there already.
okay. Yeah, I would mention that in there too, because that was another thing I wasn't sure of. And you saw, I asked you what to do about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So can you go to your real-time data now?
Oh, yeah. It's not showing anything.
Okay, well, let's all go visit the website again.
I mean, I'm even on there. It should show me right, unless I think I excluded me. Yeah, I did exclude me.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I'm seeing you guys.
now you're
Great.
seeing someone from Fort Mill,
Great.
South Carolina.
Mhm.
There you go.
Thank you guys.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
You're welcome.
That gave me a scare, but it was pretty simple. Okay.
yeah, I'm just clicking around your website. You should be able to see, and that's what's great about real-time analytics is it allows you to check that
That's so
everything's
cool.
working properly, quickly. Now, theoretically, there's another way to do it. There are third-party tools that will crawl your website to make sure your analytics code's on every page.
Mhm.
And that would be a little bit more complete. However, since we know Sitekit's doing it, I think we can be confident. Another thing, but as we go back to the dashboard that you set up, which is how you identified this problem, right? And frankly, that's one of the purposes of the dashboard. I created the dashboard when I was working in an agency, and every once in a while, some CEO would be mucking around their website and would remove something or break something. And I'd use that dashboard to say, oh crap, something's wrong. And so in one sense, that's really great because the dashboard did what it's supposed to do. It showed you, oh crap, you aren't getting any traffic. Then we can address it. And that's why I like getting that dashboard every week, because it's like, okay, worst case scenario, I lose a week of data. I can live with that. But one of the things I like to check in that dashboard is it even reporting? Another thing to check in that dashboard is what's called self-referrals.
Mhm.
And if you ever get a self-referral, meaning a referral from your own website, something could be wrong with your tracking script in the sense that you might be missing a page that doesn't have your Google Analytics script on it.
Mhm.
Now, there could be other things going on too. For instance, let's say someone stays on a page and it's a really long blog post or a really long video, lasts more than 30 minutes,
Mhm.
and then they click to a next page. Well, the session's timed out after 30 minutes. So that will come up
Okay.
as a self-referral. So if you see self-referrals in your dashboard, it's worth time to investigate, because at the best case scenario, where someone's spending a lot of time on a page reading it, takes longer than 30 minutes, and before they click to another page to get in their page view. Well, that's a wonderful problem, but that also means you lost their first source of traffic. You don't know how they found you in the first place because the session started over. And if that was a problem, we can talk about strategies to deal with that. But the worst case is there's something weird about your site, and there's a section of your site that doesn't have your Google Analytics code on it, in which case people visit a page and then visit the page without the analytics code and visit another page, and the session starts over and we lose how they found us in the first place. Therefore, we can't track our marketing success. Therefore, we don't know if what we're doing is actually mattering or not. And that's
Question on page not found errors.
Yeah.
I noticed in the one I downloaded that it wasn't clickable to the pages, and so
Yes.
I had to add in the location so I could get there, because I saw in your tutorial where to go,
Yeah.
and then did a search for a page not found, but it's showing these weird pages like /xz or
Oh,
yeah. Why is
that
that?
okay. That good. The dashboard's doing what it's supposed to do, right? Any strange URLs that you might see
Yeah,
might be a result of your site being hacked.
I'm with WP Engine. That's impossible. I guess I'll have to contact them and
I
find
would
out.
contact them. I got a guy, Steve Schwartz, who is a certified ethical hacker who can look at it too.
Yes.
Okay.
But one of the things that hackers do on WordPress sites is they create crazy URLs.
Yeah.
And then so if
Okay.
Well,
they'll
one
fix my
interesting
site
thing.
for free at WP Engine. They fix
Okay, yeah, great. I would start there.
Yeah.
It might not be. It could also be, because we got to remember what we're seeing when we see a 404 error in Google Analytics as opposed to a 404 error in Search Console.
Mhm.
Search Console this is what data Google found.
Yeah.
Google Analytics is a human visited this page.
Yeah. It didn't show it in Google Search Console.
Right. So what that could mean is someone typing in the wrong URL, or maybe at one point your site was hacked and someone's clicking links to get to your site from these old
Mhm.
hacked links to see. There could be things like that, and therefore it's showing a 404. In which case that would be a rare circumstance where I wouldn't want to redirect that 404. If it's a hack site, I'd leave it 404 so Google realizes and people realize it's not a live link. If
Yeah, my
normally
domain
when
is
I
very,
found a 404, I'd want to redirect it.
my domain is a very popular domain
Mhm,
that's used
mhm.
by several other businesses.
Yeah.
So it might be like an ad campaign that they had. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that, or someone could just be fat finger problems and type the wrong thing in. But it might just be worth, especially if you have a good web host who can do a real quick check and just say, I've seen some weird things, check to make sure it's not been hacked. And they should be able to troubleshoot that. But that again is one of the values of that weekly dashboard, to catch those things as quick as possible.
Mhm.
Because I mean, it's really the first thing I check on every one of my clients every week. Almost Monday morning, I just go through those reports and say, anybody got any weird stuff going on here? Nope. Then my week is off to a good start. Yep. Uh-oh. Calling Steffi. You know,
Mhm.
that's gonna how it does. So that's great to know that the dashboard's doing what it's supposed to do. It helped us identify that your analytics code was broken, and help me realize that my directions were not clear, and help you get solution quickly.
Awesome.
Great.
Thank you.
That's good. Any other questions we can think of?
I see on site, oh,
Go on, Lavanya.
I see on, what was it, SiteKit, the Google AdSense. If someone puts that on their website, would that slow it down also? If that's what I'm talking
AdSense
about.
is Google's ability to serve ads on your website, right?
Right.
So theoretically, I suppose adding anything could slow down your website. I'd be really hesitant to add AdSense. First of all, you have to have a critical mass of traffic before it even is worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, make sure it doesn't conflict with your business model, right? If you have a general blog and you're getting a critical mass of traffic, then you can consider an ad service like AdSense to serve up ads to supplement your income from that blog. If you're a service-oriented business, then you probably don't want to have ads on your site, because you're selling a service and you could potentially have competitors showing up on your sites, the ads, right?
Right.
And so, but AdSense, honestly, I've not heard a lot of productive things from AdSense as a revenue generating system. The critical mass to get to enough traffic to make AdSense valuable is pretty high. I honestly also just don't do that kind of marketing, right? I don't advise clients on selling ads on their websites, kind of stuff. I do more service oriented or product selling stuff. But I would not install AdSense unless you knew that AdSense was something for sure you wanted to use to monetize your site.
Okay. And what about this optimize, create free A/B test?
Yeah, that I would not add it until I was ready to use it. Now, that goes to the idea of conversion rate optimization, which we've talked a little bit about before. Google Optimize is Google's A/B testing tool, where you can do things like, we're going to change the color of a button on a website, and we're going to see if the red button or the green button performs better. And you can use Google Optimize to dynamically change out the color of the button. So you can then determine whether a green button or a red button, in this case, converts better. So what Google Optimize will allow you to do is change things on your website and serve it to some people and not to others, or vice versa, to determine, can you improve your website's ability to convert, for instance, or other things like that. It's a great tool. I really wish I could have spent more time delving into it, but it's a really cool way to see if you can get more out of your existing website.
Okay.
So if you want to play with it, I'd love to hear what you think. I've played with it a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I wouldn't install those things unless you were going to use them.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that's it. Okay, great question, Lavanya. Anything else?
Oh, last week we spoke about review snippets, and I did
Yeah.
research afterwards to find out if there was a plugin to do what we wanted to do, because we saw it was very difficult to do. And I wrote you about that.
And
That
kind of Gutenberg plugin.
it's Ultimate Blocks plugin, and I don't know if you guys are aware of that plugin and how that's, if you want to add on more Gutenberg blocks, that's the one to go to, really. And they have a schema review block. I can share the link with you if you'd like.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Did you test it after installing it?
I
with-
haven't actually installed it. Let me just put it in the chat here.
I love the idea of using a Gutenberg block for this because that just makes life a lot easier.
Yeah,
But I'd worry that it falls for some of the other problems of, number one, does it have all the pieces necessary for Google to even consider showing us? For instance, does it take intake of reviews? Does it do the proper formatting of reviews in that it's an aggregate review and listing all individual reviews, and we're reviewing the right thing? Like those, but the first step is to put some test data in it, run it through the schema tool that we used last week, the structured data testing tool, and see what it comes up to and if it considers it valid. And then from that point forward, see if you can set it up to take in intakes and properly display and make sure you're reviewing the right thing.
I'm going to do it for a client of mine soon. So I'm going to test this out. But
Great.
basically the others I looked at had something similar, but I thought Ultimate Blocks Gutenberg be the better to go with.
I've heard good things about Ultimate Blocks from Gutenberg before.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I've heard good things from that. So I'm glad that their plugin seems credible to me. I just would be worried because a lot of people, like I said before, when I experienced this last time, some of the old plugins would review the wrong thing or weren't even valid or broken and not maintained. So this one's a new enough one. I'd have good hopes for it.
Okay, good.
Cool.
Yeah, it looks like it does an aggregate there on the first page I sent you.
Okay.
Lets you add schema enabled review box to poster pages for you. The block will help you add attractive review box with many features if you write review posts. Yeah.
Cool.
A star rating.
Okay. Well, we're getting close to time. Is there anything else that we would need to talk about today?
No, I'm sure that once I get my site up and am working on the Google Tag Manager, I might have questions at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, please ask them, bring them up. I spent a lot of time this week updating the monthly report process for Curious Ants because I realized there are a lot of gaps and overlaps in that. And so this is really on my mind also because it's the first working week of the month and I'm preparing reports for all my clients.
Yeah.
And I just want to encourage everybody that it's really worth your time once a month to get into your Google Analytics and see what's working, because it's always very easy to get caught in the trees and forget that we're building a forest. I'm mixing my metaphors here. So take some time, look at the monthly report, see why things are working, why they're not, what could be done better, what could be done more of because it's doing so well, and double down on what's working, fix what's not. But if you don't take that time on a monthly basis, at least, to review your progress, you might be just getting caught in doing stuff. And that stuff might be working, but it might not be working. And that would be the disappointment, is putting a lot of work into something that's not doing anything.
Yeah.
I'm speaking to myself here because in one of my New Year's resolutions is to treat myself as a client and start doing SEO for myself.
Yeah.
So I blocked out time for myself, just like I block out time for my clients, and I'm giving myself so many hours a week to do my own stuff.
Yeah.
Because if I don't do it, I'm just gonna spin my wheels and be like, oh, today I want to change some title tags. hey, that's cool, but is that the most effective thing right now? I don't know, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why, so I'm hoping, I'm gonna release the update this week on the updated process for monthly reports. Take a look at it and take some time and set this up so maybe you can begin a monthly reporting process through your website. I mean, even if you just do it for yourself, it'll benefit, but sometimes sending it to your boss to say, hey, boss, look at what we're doing. Aren't you glad you're paying me? Or, hey, client, aren't you glad you're paying me? Look at what progress we've made,
Yeah.
right? That's
Yeah.
going to be a great thing. It's job security, it's client security, but it's also identifying new opportunities and making sure you're spending your time doing what's working rather than what's not. So I just want to cheer you all on for that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do it myself.
I rebranded March, April last year.
Mhm.
And I tell everybody, you have to have a WordPress site. You have to have all this stuff. And I look at mine, I'm like, yes, you need to do your site.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. It will be done soon.
Yes. Yes. Yes, I know.
It's a process.
The cobbler's kid has no shoes. That's my motto.
I'm doing content.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's so good to see everybody. I'm glad everybody seems healthy. Everybody seems happy. Everybody seems relatively pain-free. So stop laughing though. But take care, everybody. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.